Is the origin story of this film is Pat and I's shared love of those 70s action films. And I had been making a documentary about Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, and I was kind of getting obsessed with the great nonverbal performances of people like McQueen and Paul Newman, and how much you could express that way through an action film, and how wonderful those old heroes' journeys gave you a context of an aspirational look at masculinity and what honor and dignity and fighting for what you believe in and taking care of others that was in my youth that I would see through these heroes' journeys.
Heiko Rauber,
There you go. That's what he said.
Bavarian TV, Kino, Redaktion, Kino. This is a
All right. The last place you probably want to look for advice in your spiritual counsel is a bunch of jet-lagged, drunk artists talking about their film. That said, I love the movies, and I believe in the power of cinema to affect. They're kind of like, you know how every night we all dream, and those dreams kind of heal us and get us ready for the next day. In a lot of ways, I feel like collectively, the whole festival, all of you, all of us here are responsible for creating an international dream life. What is it? What are our dreams? What are we talking about? What are we thinking about? And I love this movie because it's something Julia said that I've taken to heart, which is at its core, it's about a group of people who don't think they have anything in common, who band together to fight institutional greed and malevolence, to realize that they have so much more in common, and that it's worth fighting for. So I love that is what we're offering the world in response to that. And, you know, anything that fights fascism, I'm all for.
I was here last year for the press conference of Blue Moon, and congratulations on your Oscar nomination, by the way.
But the weight is obviously a double entendre for the backpacks, for what he's feeling about the pressure of, you know, any father who would be in that position. And I think you're right. The greater sense of it is that's why we said it in Depression era 1930s, is that with, you know, things that was happening with the government taking people's gold, separating kids from their families, it helped enhance the story. I won't speak for Ethan on when his character became aware of the new journey, but he's here for it.
For me, you know, it was the weight of love, and what you're willing, you know, what you're willing to do for love, and how you're willing to put love in action. And that's what I could really relate to it. I've had a lot of men in my life growing up that I really admired, and as you grow older, you start to see what they did for you, and that they had choices and they didn't have to do it. And when you're young, you just think, oh, these people are supposed to take care of me. And I had a lot of people take care of me. And so I just wanted to try to put that care into the performance.
Before we started shooting, we were all talking about, oh, they should be heavy, you know, they should really be heavy. And when we got to the first day of shooting, they weren't. No. We were all like, what? We need them to be heavy. We don't want to act that. And after one day or something like that, we were all like, yeah, no, it's fine. Let's take it out.
Yeah.
Let's leave the weight out. Yeah, so that was really fun. It was fun to play it around with different weights in the backpack. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be very method when we started, and a couple hours in, your shoulders start hurting. I don't want to be that.
They left the microphone was on, and they were complaining, and they were.
I seen Blue Moon last year, and I seen a Lowdown. Is there a recipe or an idea?
I don't know enough about what you're asking to speak about the names that you suggested. I have no context for that question. The last time I spoke publicly about any of this, I was really shocked at how much animosity it was met with, and of people saying things like actors shouldn't talk about politics or things like that. And I really feel like the answer is the absolute inverse, is that everybody should be, we're all citizens of the world and all of us matter and all of us have a voice and everybody's welcome to disagree. That's part of the benefits of living in a free society. And yeah, we get microphones thrown in front of our face, but it's not because we're telling anybody what to do. We're just citizens sharing our opinion, and you're willing to make of it what you will. We're not, some of the greatest minds in the world have tried to make the planet live in peace, and it seems to be very difficult for humanity. The more that we talk about it and make it a priority in our life and taking care of all the children, that's our job as grown-ups, is to take care of the young people in our lives and make sure they have a good world to be born into and thrive into. And we all have to think about how we contribute and do the good that we have the power to do. And I feel like there's a slight agenda to your question that is different than my agenda. But I respect you. I respect the question.
Sundance to Berlin. I guess my question is to Ethan, and the whole team is welcome to answer as well.
The weight of parenthood, or your question about the weight of politics in the world, the weight of the way we're all manipulated, and the way that the world seems to respect gangsters. I don't understand it, and our characters have to fight against it, just like we're talking about today. And I love the period aspect of it because it gets you thinking outside of contemporary politics and into ethics in general. And that liberates us all to perhaps take a moment and not think about our knee-jerk set positions, but actually think about it from an ethical point of view. And but my ethics all stem from my relationship as a father and my relationship as a son to a wonderful mother and father myself.
Yeah, really?